Young people often believe they're invincible. Now, dozens of counselors at Cary Grove High School must help students deal with the reality that shattered that worldview forever.
Basically, what they're there to do is just to be listeners, to provide support to the kids, to provide them with the just adult presence and support of people who are concerned and care about them.
The 1,300 plus students here were given the option to leave school, and all day long a steady stream of them did just that. Some telling us that schoolwork as usual seemed absurd to them.
Everyone's crying and running around. Some people are trying to talk about the good memories and stuff. I don't know. I just wanted to be alone. I didn't want to see the teachers. I didn't want to see any faculty. I didn't even want to see the school bus when I woke up this morning.
A sign reading "Rest Eternal, Grant Them" is among the messages left here near the tracks. Burning candles, personal notes, and flowers for Jeff, Joe, Mike, Sean, Tiffany, and now 2 more.
That these people loved and cared about a lot by the community here.
They come before the crossing to observe a moment of silence, most of them students.
And he rode the bus with the 2 kids who died.
I had to pay some respects to him. I just can't let him go.
Their parents.
And I feel awful for the other families, but I'm grateful my son wasn't on there.
Even parents who don't live anywhere near Fox River Grove make the trip.
This was just terrible. And I just felt like it was something I had to do. I've got a candle lit at home and everything.
Just steps away from these homemade memorials, an intense investigation continues. 50 people trying to determine what exactly happened. What happened, and was this stoplight working? A light that's supposed to automatically turn green when a train approaches.
People walk down the streets crying, really upset, you know, and it seems like the community is coming together a lot.
Everybody feels bad for everybody, and they're all just getting together and showing how bad they feel for the families. Everybody in Fox River Grove grew up with all these kids, and they remember them from little, and I don't think they'll ever forget any of this.
He rode the bus with the 2 kids who died.
I had to pay some respects to him. I just can't let him go.
And I feel awful for the other families, but I'm grateful my son wasn't on there.
The 4 photographs entitled Mystical Light were taken on the day of the accident by amateur photographer David Tatina. Tatina didn't think much of the pictures until co-workers got a glimpse of them.
And they started passing them around for everybody to see. And that's when I really noticed that the light was so focused, almost like a laser beam of some sorts. And it's just getting a lot of positive results, so for the next 2 hours I didn't see my pictures. Everybody at work was looking at them.
One of the pictures shows a powerful beam of light extending from the heavens down to the front of the bus. The other shows similar dramatic effects. Many in this community say the photographs are a sign from God and represent the transfer of souls from here to beyond.
What was your initial reaction?
It was really something very different. It was like there was a real warm feeling saying, we know that God has done something, and He's going to work in this.
It's kind of scared and kind of excited because I think it's like taking the kids up to heaven.
Photography experts say the strong beam of light and rays were likely caused by a phenomenon known as lens flare. That's when light hits and reflects off a camera's lens. But experts who have seen these photos say things here are a bit weird. That's because the photographs contain images not typically associated with lens flare occurrences. Tatina doesn't quite know how to explain things, but he says what is important is that the images in the pictures may go a long way toward erasing more painful pictures of the tragedy.
Could be of the supernatural, and maybe it couldn't. I think each individual person has to look at it and view it and make that decision for themselves. It's just a lot of things, too many things were coincidental, so I don't know if it was meant to be or not, if it was meant for Dave's camera, but it seems to be doing positive for people.
Tatina is making copies of the photos available to anyone who wants them at the cost it takes to reproduce them. The demand is running high, as is the hope that the images they contain are true signs of a miracle. Bob Aria, CLTV News.
Pena, along with Village President Bill Yokas, walked the site of the deadly crash early this morning, getting a first-hand look at the site where 7 teens lost their lives last October.
Since then, I know that you sealed it off and that some changes were made. So you've changed the timing's been changed, and any other adjustments?
So we made the timing changes with the signals. There's signs that says do not cross until the lights turn green.
The village president would like one more change, have the speed of trains passing through the crossing reduced from 70 to 50 miles per hour. But Pena wouldn't commit to that request.
Speed is one of a number of factors that one looks at in all of these crossings. You also look at technology, we look at better enforcement, we look at education of the motoring public. So there are lots of factors that are involved here.
Later, Pena held a public hearing on rail crossing safety. Some ideas discussed include putting a video camera at crossings or guards that won't let you cross. Pena says he also favors tougher penalties for drivers who ignore crossings.
We're finding that citizens are going around the crossing gates, even when they're down. That's nuts. We ought to be telling people that when those crossing gates come down, they're there for a reason. They're there for your protection and for your safety.